On the latest episode of their podcast, Jinger Vuolo and Jeremy Vuolo reflect on marriage and the changes and challenges they've experienced together. The couple, who wed in 2016, have two daughters ages 6 and 3 and are expecting a baby. Jinger Vuolo is the sixth child of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, and starred on the TLC shows 19 Kids and Counting On. Jeremy Vuolo was a pro soccer player before turning to full-time ministry. He now serves at John MacArthur's Grace Community Church and the Master's Seminary. During their November 20 podcast episode, Jinger, 30, and Jeremy, 37, look back at their 8 years of marriage, saying it has both flown by and feels like we've been married forever. The couple agreed they're both different people now, including theologically, but are still on the sanctification growth process. Jinger Vuolo and Jeremy Vuolo's anniversary reflections. The Vuolos were forced to deal with and work through challenges they never expected, Jinger said. That made the beginning of their marriage so hard and yet so sweet, because it led to a quick bond. Referring to her brother Josh Duggar, in prison following his conviction for receiving child sex abuse materials, Jinger said, "There was so much heartache and pain. Yet at the same time, I think we just leaned into each other. We leaned into the Lord, and God sustained us and grew us deeper in that time." Related. We're super excited. Jinger Vuolo, husband Jeremy, announced third child is on the way. She continued, "I wouldn't trade that, because God uses all things. He works it all together for our good, and I think it's hard to see when you're in that moment. It's hard to see when you're in the midst of the pain. You just want it to go away." To her husband, Jinger said, "Your love for me regardless of what we were walking through. It was so comforting and so helpful, and God allowed all of that." Jeremy Vuolo, who praised his wife's outward and inward beauty, agreed that God has proven faithful. Pointing to the Old Testament tradition of an Ebenezer, he said, "We can look and see how God was faithful and how He grew us closer, how He matured us, how He was showing us our own areas of weakness or sin." An Ebenezer, Jeremy said, can be a reflective conversation, a journal entry, or any other reminder of God's goodness. He added, "In those moments of doubt and those moments of struggle, it's not ours to understand what God's doing, it's to understand who God is." When Job was going through all the suffering, God did not come down and start explaining to him why He's allowed him to go through all that. God simply declared His person to Job, "Let me tell you who I am." And as we look at the one who's in control, we see His character. We can have peace.